on the computer. Super excited for you guys. Thank guys. First of all, number one, thank you so much for coming on to tonight. I know I value your time. I know that it takes a lot to be away from your family or from your other time commitments to come on. And these calls are absolutely an opportunity for you to ask questions, use the message box to ask any questions. Tonight, the focus is going to be on Instagram. And so ask your questions in the box of anything that you have related to Instagram. Also, for those of you on the call, I see Blair. I better see you guys sharing a picture of this call on your story. So everyone take out your phone and everyone take out your phone. Well, I know some of, but sharing, this is key, guys. Remember we talked about it last week. Making sure that you're sharing about the business, making sure every single time you hop on this call, you should be sharing a screenshot of all of us, waving or just showing our faces so that people can see that you're taking time out of your day, right? They can see that you're training, that you're spending time. So that's key. So a couple quick announcements, guys. It is the middle of the month, and so I want to know, how are you guys doing with your Success Club goals? How are you guys doing with your connections, with your with growing your network? We'll be talking about growing your network, but you still have plenty of time in the month to crush your goals, to help as many people. Again, guys, we're entering right now. We're about to enter probably the season when everyone goes crazy with their food, when they go on sugar binges with Halloween, that goes right into the Thanksgiving holiday season. And in the holiday season, there's tons of parties. I'm sure you guys are seeing it already at work. There's tons of goodies, tons of treats. So just really think about that, guys. So now is the time for all of you. How many of you are super committed to your wellness, your own personal fitness goals? Like, all of you guys should be super committed to your fitness goals because you have to lead by example, right? We can't ask other people to do things that we're not doing ourselves. And so we have to lead by example. And especially with Transform 20 coming out, that is going to be a massive, massive launch, guys. And so one tip that I can tell you guys is just make sure that you're staying on track with your nutrition and your fitness, so that you can lead by example, so that when you're posting and sharing, while other people are eating and feeling bloated and feeling tired, they're going to see your post where you're feeling amazing, and they're going to say, yes, I want to be involved. I want to see what she's doing. I want to get involved. And so again, just keeping that in mind. Another announcement is that next week we have our sneak peek into coaching. So, just keep that in the back of your mind, write it down in your calendar that we're going to be having our sneak peek into coaching. And that is an opportunity, guys, for you guys to invite people into the group, so that it'll be a group on Facebook, so that you can invite people. And if there's any of you who want to start partaking in that, right? I started doing those things when it was like me and like one other person. So, if you want to have a role and you want to, start building up your communication and your leadership skills, send me a message that you want to be involved, that you want to help out with the next sneak peek to do something, and we'll get you a role, whether it's posting or sharing a quick video and sharing your story. Again, these are all things you'll have to get used to and you'll have to get good at as you're building your business, okay? So keep that in mind. Also, another thing that I just wanted to now that I have you guys all on here, I wanted to make sure, do you all, because I can see all your beautiful faces, minus Melissa. I can't see Melissa or Kristen or whoever this other iPhone is, but these are all iPhone. And I can't see Shondell. I don't know where she is. But do you all, she's waving, do you all use scripts for your inviting? I want to see, like, yes, do you guys all use scripts? Because I'm telling you guys, the scripts that I have shared work. There's nothing that you need to do to those scripts. They work. They work. It is as simple as those scripts. And I'm telling you this because even when I started, guys, when I started having Luke to help me several years ago, when he knew nothing really about this business, I literally was like, Luke, just follow the scripts. And don't even steer away from them. Don't even try to sound different. Just follow them. So just make sure that you're following them, or at least if you don't, let us know that if you don't know what I'm talking about, and make sure that you're saving them on your phone so that you don't have to keep rewriting things. Guys, you should not have to be rewriting things off the top of your head. Work smart. They should all be saved on your phone, okay? So just, really keeping that in mind. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about hashtags. Let me go ahead and a hashtag, but just some Instagram tips. And some of this may be common knowledge for you guys, or some of this may be helpful, but hopefully there's something that I say or reiterate so that you will, that'll click and it'll get you, just really get you thinking, and it'll be something of value to you. All right, so first I'm gonna go ahead and start with I'll just start with my desktop, okay. All right, so Instagram tips. And so basically, let me go ahead and, okay. So I wanted to share a little bit about my overall stats when it comes to Instagram, because Instagram is one of those things where and this is just social media in general. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, it's all about consistency. Realizing, guys, that this is your business. This is your storefront. You don't have any other storefront. And so you have to stay always posting, always in the news feed of your audience every single day, because they're relying on you. They're looking to you for that consistency. So when I started back in July of 2013, it's been 63 months. I've been reflecting about this a lot. I had 200 followers. And so every single day for 63 months, no matter what was going on in my life, guys, I have posted to social media. And I have the proof. Doesn't matter if I was traveling around. I did an around the world trip. I had people who died. I had tests. I had, I had all these different things. I moved from another state. I had all of these different reasons to say, you know what, I'm too busy, or I can't do it today, but I always showed up. And that is one of the secrets to Instagram or to Facebook it's just that simple consistency of showing up every single day. And so I've been averaging about 2.5 posts per day. And today my following is at 19.3. Now, could it be higher? Yes. Are there people who have, hundreds of thousands of followers? Yes. However, this has been what I've been able to do with my schedule and just showing up consistently and, and really just, living that consistent manner. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about, number one, how consistent have you been in showing up? Because you cannot expect to just be able to post once a week or go 2, 3, 4 days without posting and it not to affect your business. That is the fact of the matter, okay? That is just the reality of this business. And so I want you to think about that, right? And I don't know how many of you I'm assuming most of you have gone to college, right? Some sort of college. So when you were in college, you put in, or at least some sort of profession, or if some of you may have gone to a professional degree, and you put in a lot of work in the beginning. There's a lot of consistency. You're studying, you're showing up, you have to take the test. You're not getting paid for any of it. If anything, you're going in freaking debt. So you're not getting paid for any of it, but you're still putting in your best effort and you're still doing the very best that you can do every single day to make your goals happen. It's the same thing when you're first building a business, especially when you're first building a following. It's going to be that consistent, and you have to kind of see where you're getting the most traction. So for me, I always posted the same on Facebook and on Instagram. So that's one of the first questions I always get is, should I create different content? No, post the same content on both platforms, because you have different people on the two platforms, and you have people, when you post, only a very small percentage will see what you post. So you have to post consistently. That's why, for example, even for me, there are people, and I should say, I don't mean to, but I'm just saying, I've been on social media for so long, and I'll get people who ask me about my story or ask me about my relationship with Luke. As many times as I've posted about it, I'm like, you still don't know, but it's a great reminder to me that I have to stay consistent with my story, that even though I've said my story hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, or shared my before and after hundreds and hundreds of times, or shared my story about Luke hundreds of times, there are still people, there's tons of people, so many people who don't know a clue about me. And it's the same with you. So because the second, I know I'm going, but the second kind of thing or question or concern that I get from coaches, especially new coaches, is, Stephanie, I feel like I'm posting the same thing over and over again. And yes, you are posting the same thing over and over again. So I want to assure you that you will be posting the same thing over and over again. That's why, for example, you have to fall in love with the vital behaviors. You have to fall in love with this process. And that's what I love about this, because if you stay consistent in your own journey and as a result share about that journey, your life will change. You're going to get an amazing shape. Your mindset is going to improve, and those are the biggest blessings out of this business. And then the financial success will follow as you're sharing and as you're getting out of your own way, right? So you have to be posting consistently, sharing your journey consistently, and reaching out to people consistently. So that's a little bit about that. And so again, so over the past 5.5 years, it's all about consistency. And then the second part is constantly improving, right? We have to constantly be growing, guys, in our skill sets. As a business owner, you and I, we're business owners. I'm not, that's how I look at you. You guys are CEOs, you're business owners. And so constantly improving, okay, how, and talking specifically about like the quality of your photos that you're putting out there, the quality of the posts that you're putting out there, and that will continue to improve. And if you're someone who, you can't be telling yourself, do not tell yourself, I can't write, or I can't take a photo, or I can't do this, I can't do that. Do not speak that negativity onto yourself, because guess what you're going to get? You're going to get poor photos. You're going to get poor posts. You're going to get what you speak. And that's been one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, guys, in building a business, now building a second business, online. I have Beachbody, but I also have a second brand that I'm building online. And then I have my own physician business. And I'm telling you guys that when it comes to business matters and it comes to having success in any business, you must first believe in yourself and in your capability to have success. If you have any doubt, and we constantly work on that doubt, right? So if we have any doubt in our capability or any doubt in us being able to accomplish it, it is going to stop us from having success. I'm telling you, I've lived it. Every single one of you, you're going to walk through your own failures, and you're going to walk through your own obstacles, and you're going to walk through those limiting beliefs. And with every stage, every step, you're going to reach a point where you're going to say, can I do this? Can I learn more? Am I going to be successful at this? And you have to keep telling yourself yes. So I speak to this because I know a lot of you will say, I can't write, I can't take a photo, I don't know how to do this. Don't say those words, because what you speak comes into existence. So thinking positively onto yourself and saying, I can do this, I can figure this out, I can write a story, I can get better at this. These are all skill sets. So when it comes to your photography, guys, this really matters on Instagram. So making sure you have an upgraded phone. Christmas is around the corner. So if you don't have an upgraded phone, you should be asking for a phone for Christmas. That is a great Christmas gift, because the latest gift, the latest phone, making sure, because you want to be able to take quality photos, not those great. I'm telling you, the older phones, they have crappy, and it's hard. There's not much you can do to some of these photos. So making sure that you have a quality phone and investing in a tripod. How many of you guys have a tripod for your phone? Blair, you should get a tripod. It's like $14. So I'm calling you out, Blair, because I've said this before. I want to see you get a tripod and a remote, guys. These things are on Amazon for like $15. It's a $15 investment, super easy, and it'll help so much. Look, this is one of them. Look how small. It's a little small thing, and you literally just pop your phone on it, comes with a little adapter, and it just makes it, especially as you're getting better at taking your photos, it's better, especially if you find that you're not so stable sometimes, and you find that you're still getting used to the stability of being able to take selfies or whatever. It's good to be able to use a tripod. So all of you guys should invest in a tripod. Again, they're super economical. And then the little remotes, this is what it looks like. A little remote, and it basically attaches to your Bluetooth of any phone, Android, or they're like universal adapters. And then you can be like far away. You can be far away and take a picture in front of a beautiful, you know, a beautiful window, take clear photos, and start practicing that way. Okay, there's no reason why this shouldn't be. This is one of the first things. And again, this ties into Instagram because again, and Facebook, because our photos matter. And then taking advantage of, so when it comes to photography, also taking advantage of when you are out doing things, right? Guys, I like, my life on the everyday is boring. It's not very exciting. I'm literally sitting at my computer working, or I'm at work, you know, in the ER, and that's my life. So taking advantage of when you're out doing things, you know, I know Denise was recently traveling, you know, that was a great opportunity to be able to take photos and just be able to hold on to those photos so that you can then plan for posts later on and talk about different topics, you know, and just share those beautiful photos. So wherever you're going, and whenever, especially when you're with friends, when you're with people, really, you know, taking advantage that you can use them for later. And then using apps, you know, all of you should be using apps that will help with editing and you know, you just have to find 1 or 2 apps that you enjoy, play around with it. Most apps, you know, and these are the most common ones. The most common ones are Facetune. A lot of people use Facetune. That helps to smooth the skin. It helps to whiten your teeth. It helps to, you know, really clarify like your eyes. And again, it's just, you know, getting used to these apps. Snapseed is one I know Chelsea uses Snapseed. She likes that one. Lightroom is another app that a lot of people use. You can use it on your desktop. You can also use it on your phone. So if you have it on your desktop, on your phone, it's free. I believe you may have to pay a small fee, but I know definitely for the computer you have to pay, but VSCO is another great app that you don't necessarily, I think you just have to pay like a one-time $4, $5 fee for the app. But these apps are great, guys, because we have to constantly be applying, you know, we have to be watching the lighting and whatchamacallit. You know, we're always looking at the exposure of our photos. We're always brightening up our photos, sharpening our photos. You'll notice that certain people use the same filters. And so all of that can be found in Snapseed or in VSCO. VSCO has tons of filters. So you may find a filter that you like. And so every photo that you take, you kind of put through that filter a little bit so that you have a cohesiveness when people are looking at your Instagram, okay? So that's really important. And so, and the best way to kind of get an idea for your flavor is to really look at to really find Instagram accounts that you like and that really call to your attention, and you're just like, wow, this is really pretty. I really like the way this person did this. So really think about what really calls to your attention. And and that could be one assignment for right after this call, is what we can do is in the team page, I'm going to put a post asking for you guys to share like a snapshot of your favorite account from Instagram. So you're just going to share the feed of an Instagram of whose filters you like, or whose page, like how you feel like, look, this looks beautiful to me. I would love my account to look like this. So I want you guys to, I'll post the post after this call, and then you guys can comment underneath that. And then you might get ideas, and you might see what other people like. So the next thing I want to talk about is hashtagging, because I follow some of you guys, and I noticed that you guys are not using, some of you are not using hashtags appropriately. So number one is that when you're posting hashtags, you should at least be posting about 25 hashtags, okay? 25 hashtags. And your hashtags should be all, the idea is that you want them to be specific to your niche and to who you're trying to appeal to. So, especially so let's say, for example, I know Blair is someone who loves the portion fix. And so she loves, talking about nutrition and so your hashtagging may be more associated with more nutrition related hashtags. And so you may do, you may look at more nutrition related accounts to try to get an idea of what types of hashtags they're using. To find what are the most popular nutrition hashtags, or just kind of thinking, so specifically to your niche, what are different hashtags? And also thinking about, this is where understanding the 4 or 5 things that make you unique are really important. So like my moms out there, you all should have a range, and most of you do, but you should definitely have a range of mom hashtags, really popular mom hashtags. You know, Denise, the only reason why I'm picking on you guys is because I only see like 3 of you. So you guys happen to be the ones that I see. So, so Denise, you know, is going to be a new mom. There are so many hashtags out there around being a new mom, as well as getting in shape around being a new mom. And one thing, and so you want to make sure you're collecting all of these hashtags, and you want to keep them saved in the hashtag blocks. And that's the key, guys, is to keep them saved in the hashtag block so that you don't have to keep thinking about it. It's already easily saved. And that's going to be, if there's anything that you guys take from this call, I want to see you guys posting 25 hashtags underneath all of your photos, because I know you guys, many of you are not. And though that's a big way of how you want to, that's a big way for you to be able to grow. And so you want to be able to keep them saved, like I said. So you want to do the research and find the right hashtags. And so you want to hashtag with a variety of followers. So some that have over, so you'll notice when you look at hashtags, they'll have a certain number associated with it. So for example, I have right here. So like, let's say for example, I'm really big into women empowerment, women in business, confidence, you know, so I will, you know, let's say I go to women empowerment, you know, women empower right there. So you'll see here, women empowerment. And this is how you can see, okay, this has 4 million, you know, 4+ million hashtags. So I'm going to make sure that I have, you know, when you're looking at your hashtags, you want to have a variety. So maybe you have about 10 hashtags that are over 1 million. And then you have about 10 hashtags that are between, you know, over 250, between 250,000 and 1 million. So, you know, you want to make sure you have a big variety, and then you have some that are 50,000 or 100,000. And so, and the way that, and that's how you find them, is you find them by searching for them. So let me show you how, in case you're not familiar on like how to even see it on your regular. I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to share my other, let me see. Can you guys see my phone? Okay, awesome. So, okay, so you're going to see, so when I go to Facebook here, and if I click on the little finder, little magnifying glass at the bottom, it'll bring me to the search. You click on the search, and then you just put like confidence, you know, confidence, and then you'll see the hashtags will pop up right there, and you'll see the numbers. And so that's how, and so you'll see confidence quotes, for example, which is one that I use frequently, that has 51,000. So that's part of my hashtag blocks. And I just want to show you real quick. So here you see I have my hashtag blocks all ready to go. So this is for wedding. And again, you want to specifically niche it. So like if you're going to be, like for me, when I talk about anything related to my wedding coming up, I'm going to use wedding hashtags. If I'm talking about confidence and empowerment, I'm going to use confidence and empowerment hashtags. If I'm talking about nutrition, I'm going to use nutrition hashtags. And so I have them all saved here already in blocks of 50. And so you'll see, and then I have about 2 to 3 hashtags that I am using all, you know, pretty much all the time. And so that's what you guys should have. You guys should all have your blocks of hashtags. And it does take some time to, you know, find those hashtags. And one tip that I have is using display purposes. I don't know if you guys have heard about display purposes. I posted about it on the team page. And, you know, I know not everyone's always looking at the team page, so that's why I wanted to talk about it here. But it's a great little platform. It's displaypurposes.com. And what it is that when you go to it, and you see it right here, and you click on it, so like let's say you put in, you know, a certain hashtag. So let's say, you know, fit mom. So if I put fit mom, and it's going to give me several hashtags here that are associated or fit around that hashtag, that are commonly used with that hashtag. Okay. So now I can take this and I can go and do my research, and I can say, okay, let me look at these. Let me see which one first, you know, I resonate with. And then let me see where they are, you know, where they are in the numbers, Do they have a nice variety? Because what I see is sometimes you guys will use these like random hashtags like that have no following. And so, and I think it's just because you guys are just putting a hashtag like hashtag I'm so excited. Don't do that. Like that's not, that's not going to have many people. It's not related to your niche. It's not related to what you're trying to, who you're trying to attract. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Does that make sense? You want to make sure that you are, really niching down on the specific hashtags, so you have, so fit mom, so fit mom's a great one, or new mom, for example. So you'll see here, Denise, this is great for you. So it's like new mom, you have all these different hashtags here. And so, these are ones that you can do. And one thing that I do, guys, is if there's a specific hashtag that really speaks to my niche. So like for me, again, I'm all about women empowerment. So, and I'm also an emergency medicine physician, and I'm also like, I'm a physician. So I will specifically follow the hashtags. And that's also a great way to connect with people, to find people within your niche, is to follow specific hashtags, because then it'll come up in your news feed it'll come up in your news feed the same way. So this is displaypurposes.com is where you can do that. And then also another one is to look at what others are using that have a similar niche to you. Okay. So this is a big one too, guys. I have certain people that I love to follow, and what I do is I go and I search them out. So like if I go to here, like right now, for example, there's a girl that I love, and I am Dahlia Smith. And so she is within my niche, and she is a self-love coach. She's not within Beachbody. She's within my niche. She has, 4,000 followers. And so this is someone that I may target to try to attract their followers. But then what I do is I've always been into quotes. And so I will come, I'll come here, and this is where I get a lot of my quotes from, her and many other pages. But what I do is I come and I see what hashtags they're using. And then I'll go and I'll look. And then when I'm on my computer, if you have a Mac or anything, when I'm on my computer, I will go ahead and just look. I just copy it. I just copy and I put it in my notepad. I like using my note. I don't know how many of you have MacBooks or Apple products, but what's nice about the note, if you sync it with your, if you sync it with your iCloud, what'll happen is anytime that I do something here, it immediately syncs to my phone. So I'll come here to my hashtag, and I'll just go ahead and I'll post it here, and I'll just copy, and I have, I just posted all these hashtags here, right? So I didn't have to go individually, and then I can have this already in my notepad. I don't know if you're a computer, if you have a computer, or I don't know for the people who are non-Mac, what you have to access that in terms of being able to quickly move hashtags over. But that's what I do is I find I'll look for people on my desktop, copy and save it. You can always save it into a document, send yourself an email or whatever. But that's what I do. And so I'll find people and I will look at the hashtags that they're using in order to, in order to get ideas of what hashtags are popular right now. So again, using display purposes. Let me see what questions you guys have so far. Let's see. How do you save a hashtag block? Okay. So let me see, so I can see, where's Asia? Okay, Asia, so this, did I answer your question already? I'm not sure, but this right here, okay, I was gonna say, this right here is a hashtag block. So it's 30, you see how I have all the hashtags already saved there, and then it could be on my phone. So that's what I mean by saving a hashtag block. So it'll be 25 to 30, no more than 30, guys, because that's the max of how many hashtags you can have. Oh my goodness, I've been using different ones each time I post. Okay, great. I keep mine saved in the notes section. Great. You can also, exactly, guys. Great tips here to use Google Docs to be able to save your hashtags. Or Google Keep is another great one to be able to save. Guys, if you're not using Google Keep, I love Google Keep. It's right here. It allows me to be able, again, I have the Google Keep app on my phone. And so you'll see here, I have my Beachbody On Demand script. I have my To Be Mindset. I have, I keep everything in here, and I can easily access it from the app that's on my phone. So you can have one here that just says hashtags and put all your hashtags there as well for those who don't necessarily use the notepad. So great idea there. So looking at what others are using. So let's talk about collections. You guys know what collections are? You probably do. I'd be surprised if you do, because I just recently found out about it. So, and so collections are a way to organize your posts in your Instagram so that you can build connections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and the idea is, you remember guys, as we are, one of the kind of mundane everyday activities that we're doing is we are building connections every single day. And we need to be keeping track of those people, right? So some of us use Teamsy, some of us use pen and paper, but every single day we need to be, you know, building connections, sending thank yous, you know, sending out information to people, building that connection, especially in the beginning. You want to be building that rapport. A common question that I get or concern is like, oh, no one's buying, no one's liking, no, you know, I'm reaching out to all these people. And you have to understand, guys, is that in the beginning, when you're building your business and you're building your following, you know, people are not used to you talking about these things. And so they want to see that you're consistent, and they want to see that you're building connections. And so every day I am simply connecting with anywhere from 20 to 40 people a day, just connecting. I have no desire for a sale. I just want to connect with them, because I know that if I can connect with them and I can build a relationship with them, and I do that and I put them on my list, and in I follow up with them consistently, I know that as I'm posting and sharing, they're going to be more likely to want to come to my page, and they're also going to be more likely to see my posts, because that's how Instagram and Facebook work specifically. If you haven't connected with someone on Facebook in years, guess what? They're not seeing your posts, okay? They're only seeing your posts if it gets super popular and, you know, super popular for you, and then it'll gain traction and it'll continue to push it out. So the only way that Facebook knows that you are, and Instagram, Facebook bought Instagram, so it's the same thing. The only way that it knows is if you're connecting with them and you're saying happy birthdays and thank yous, you know, especially on Facebook. Facebook now has a great way, you know, sending happy birthdays, and also now with the time lapse, you know how it tells you like your old posts. One thing that I've been using, and I know other coaches are using, is that if you go to like your time hop or whatever it is, the memory option in your Facebook, it will, and I'll show you guys right here so that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you go, let me share, hold on. Let me share so you guys see, because I feel like sometimes so if you guys just go to your main Facebook, and you go to memories right here, you see where it says memories. If you click on memories, for example, it's going to tell you all your memories. And then if you scroll to the bottom, for example, which I think is a really cool, it's going to show you, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, clearly you guys can see I was very active. But what it does that I think is really awesome is that it tells you people who you made friends with on this day. And so this is another great way to connect with old people, to find people, to really get into the inboxes of people and just say, hey, I thought about you. You know, how are things going? So again, looking at this option as well, because that's another way. So building connections, guys. And the key is that while you're building those connections, you must be simultaneously sharing on social media consistently, sharing our transformation stories, right? Collectively, guys, my transformation story is your transformation story. It's for you guys to use. Anyone on our team, you should be using our transformation stories. And I'm just reiterating that because a lot of us don't do that consistently, especially with Instagram stories. We should be sharing all of our transformation stories, picking 5 or 6 and rotating and just sharing all of them at once, 5 or 6, you know, one after the other, especially on Instagram stories. Because remember, your body, and especially if you're a new coach, you may not have the transformation yet or the success with our products yet, and that's okay. But you have our stories. So utilize our stories and share our stories, because, and also as you guys get results, your body may not be, you know, is not everyone's body. And so my transformation may resonate, or Blair's transformation may resonate, or Denise's, or, you know, or Emily's, or Ariel's, or any of, you know, there's so many people in our story, in our team who have had phenomenal transformations. So as you guys are connecting, all this to say, as you guys are connecting and you guys are sharing on social media, it's gonna lead to these more natural flows of talking about the product, or people being more interested, because they'll be like, oh, I've been wanting to reach out to you, or I've been wanting to, you know, connect with you. I see what you're doing, and, you know, can I get some more information? So just kind of keeping that in mind. So let me go ahead and share my screen now so I can share what this whole collections thing is. So collections is this feature on Instagram where you can save your posts in groups. And this is helpful because what I have found is that what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I will save people that I am connecting with, that I'm building relationships with, or maybe people who have expressed interest, and I want to make sure that I remember to keep going back to their page and liking their photos and commenting on their photos. So let me show you how to do that real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, share my phone again. I'm going to go ahead and share my phone. All right, so you guys see my phone. All right. And okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to find, so I'm actually going to create a collection right now of just my coaches because I haven't done that yet. So what you'll see here is I'm going to go to someone's account. Let's see, whose account? I'm going to go to Melissa's account just to add her. So we have Melissa here, and I'm going to, here's our lovely Melissa. It looks beautiful. You see how she has her really beautiful highlights here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to her post, and beautiful picture here. You can tell that she is using her apps, and it's nice and bright and really beautiful. I'm going to like it. And then you see this little flag thing at the bottom, on the bottom right of the photo. So you click on that flag and you see how it says save to collection. So you click save to collection, and you can see I've already started. So I'm really into yoga right now, guys. So I'm like obsessed with yoga. So I have like a yoga one, but I have boot camp interests, dream team, building relationships. And right now the plus sign, I'm going to create a new collection, and I'm going to call it my coaches, or just, you know, my coaches. So for example, so then I'll click done. And so now what I'll do is anyone else. So like, let's say I'm going to go to, you know, I'll go to Ariel, or let's see. I'll go to Ariel, I'll go to one of her photos. I'll like it. I'll click collection again, save to collection. And now you'll see my coaches. I'll just click into my coaches, and it's saved. So what this does, guys, and so what you'll do, and where you find it, is that you go to your main page here in the top right where you see that one that's being popped up. You click on that, it's going to bring it over, and you see where it says saved. So it says saved, and that's your saved post. And then you'll see here are my collections. So now, you know, if I, like, for example, I have, you know, my boot camp interests. So these are girls, for example, who have expressed interest. And I just recently started using this, so that's why it doesn't look as robust. But I have girls, and so now I know, for example, this person has expressed interest. So it'll take me back to the original post, but then I just click on her page, and I will look to see what, you know, if she's had any new ones. So she has, so I can go ahead and like it and comment on it. You know what I mean? So now I can, you know, it just allows me to just better organize the people that I have. You know, this is our way, at least for now, until Instagram comes out with another way to label. I would love for them to come out with labeling so that we can label people. But this is a way for us to collect, you know, the information. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I have been doing different ones. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is awesome. Yeah, awesome. Great, guys. Yeah, so this is really great, and so again, just to show you guys again one more time how you do it. So, and you can create different ones. And so for me, I have a dream team, like coaches that I would want on my team, like people who I'm following that I want to continue to build relationships, stay in their news feed, and just genuinely build. I'll add them to a dream team list. And then I have boot camp interests, which would be people who maybe I've actually sent information to, or we've gone back and forth, and maybe they said not right now or whatever. I can add them to the boot camp interest. And then I have people who are just connecting. I'm just connecting and building relationships, and I will sub-segment them into their own collection. And then you can do the same with your coaches. As you're training your coaches, as you're mentoring your coaches, be able to follow them. And same thing with your customers, right? Maybe your customers, and you want to be able to show love and support to them. So that, again, this is a way for us to to stay organized in that manner. So that is collections. All right. And let me share, see what else I have here. Okay. So now let's talk about growing your following. Again, guys, it's all about consistency. There's no quick way. I wish there were, but there is no quick way except, you know, doing this activity of following people every single day, using the hashtags every single day. A lot of people right now are using Captivate. It is, I think it's $10 a month. So again, I don't want you guys spending money. You know, I don't want you guys spending money. If you have the $10, then you may want to consider it. But it's basically, and what all Captivate does is that it follows people who use a certain hashtag that you tell it to follow. So it's doing the following for you, you know, while, you know, throughout the day, so that you don't have to be constantly doing it. So again, it's a great app. And then also, like I said, going to similar accounts, similar to your niche, and following their followers. So like I showed you, I have that account who her niche is right up my alley. She's a confidence coach. I can tell she's into women empowerment. So I can target her followers because I know that if they're following her, they're gonna like my stuff. You know, because we're talking the same language, we're talking the same things, we have the same kind of general things. So just really making sure that you're going to other people's accounts, you're looking at their followers, and you're following their followers. And it doesn't have to be, guys, you know, this thing where you have to like look at I noticed that some people are like, well, do I have to, you know, screen everyone? I don't screen everyone. So what I'll do is, I'll even do it right now. So what I'll do is I'll go to this girl's account. I am Dahlia Smith. And then I'll click on her followers at the top. So I'll click where it says the 4,000. I'll click on her followers, and then I'll just go down, and I'll just real quick, I'll just start, you know, I'll do about 20, and I'm just going through and just following. And I actually like the ones that are requested, because usually those will tend to typically will look to say, hey, because their account's on private, so they're going to look more, and they're going to say, who's this person who's following me? So literally, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and follow, and I think you can follow probably like 40. And this is, you know, you do this while you're waiting in line. You do this when you're like waiting to pick up your kids, while you're, you know, it's really fast. And, you know, and that's how, you know, it doesn't have to be this like long where you have to be screening people, again, because we're not, you know, you just want to get as many, actually I don't want to follow that one, but you just want to get as many eyes, you know, continuing to increase the amount of followers on your, you know, on your account that are seeing what you're doing. And so the more that you are, and this is why it's important, guys, that you're also looking outside of just Beachbody. I hope you guys are. I hope you guys have accounts that you follow that really inspire you. And look, and as you guys are thinking about developing your brand and your voice, look to those people, because that's where we get our inspiration from. You know, no one is saying you have to recreate, and trust me, I've learned this. No one is saying you have to recreate something and you have to recreate thoughts and ideas. We are all, you know, especially those of us that are into empowerment and into just being a better version of ourselves. You know, those of us who are Tony Robbins fans, it's like, we are all, you know, it's all the same stuff. You know, it's all the same, you know, material. You know, you have to get over your limiting beliefs. You have to be okay with failure. You have to forgive. You have to love it's all the same stuff. None of it is, it's just what makes it unique, in the way that is how we speak about it, right? And how our stories of how we can explain it is what makes us unique. And that's what allows us. And I had to learn this the hard way, guys. And I say this because, again, like I said, I'm building another brand. I'm building my own personal brand that's a little bit more outside of Beachbody. And I had to learn that I don't need to create this whole new thought process. You know, it's like, I don't need to. It already exists. Let's see, I have found that there are pages that follow me are like humor pages, or pages that can sell, or like, is that all right? You're saying that they're the ones that are following you are humor pages? Is that what you're saying? Let me see, hold on, go ahead, talk.
Sorry, like talking like you can hear me.
I can hear you now.
Hello.
Hi.
I find that there are these pages that they're like humor pages, or they're selling like t-shirts or stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know if this is a good thing, or is it good that it's just kind of like a start that I'm getting some following, but I really should be, and I also find that I'm getting a lot of other like fitness people following me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I've also been on a hiatus too, because I actually recently just got over mono. So I kind of took that time, to recuperate. So I kind of really fell off. So I'm definitely trying to get back on that. But I have found that I've been finding these pages that are following me, and I'm really confused by it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just going to happen. Like as you're kind of, especially with your hashtags, because they're doing the same thing. So
Okay.
everybody is doing the same thing, just randomly following people that are using specific hashtags. So everyone is doing the same method to grow, because honestly, that's the only way to really genuinely grow on Instagram right now. There is no other secret way. So these accounts, what they're doing is they're just like massively just following random people. So it's just naturally going to happen because, so yes, I personally, I have a lot of people. I have like these random people, these random people that follow me. But that's why it's even more important, Asia, is it Asia? Is that how you say it? Asia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the content. Yeah, it's even more important that you're really thinking about the hashtags that you're using and just really niching down and, and trying to stay away from the fitness ones, the fitness hashtags, and just really think about a little bit more outside of what you represent. Like, for example, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what type of, do you go to school? Do you work?
Currently, I'm a second-year teacher. I currently teach kindergarten. Mm-hmm. I like to read.
Okay.
I really feel like my life is boring. That's another thing. Like, I'm trying to okay, what can I find to post? I'm not very exciting.
Well, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy? Like, if you had the resource, like what are the types of things that you do enjoy? So you like to read, and you like
to read. I like a good cup of tea or a good cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. I spend a lot of time with my family, even if it's just like Netflixing and Huluing with my mom. Mm-hmm. I have a dog, so I tend to post about Charlie. That's his name.
That's a huge one. So dogs are a great way to grow too. There's a huge following of people who follow dog. I mean, there's freaking pages that are of a dog, and cats and and guinea pigs and all these other things. So, and so just, that's fine. So posting about your dog, but also and what I'm saying is that all your hashtags should not be just all fitness. It should be, maybe you're saying dog mom, hashtag dog mom, fur mom, hashtag, and just kind of thinking about that. And then there's tons of school ones. So really looking at the school ones. And
I found some because I'm a woman of color, so I'm a teacher of color.
And that's going to be a unique factor to you. So making sure that you're looking at other women of color and also thinking about why did you want to do this, right? Because that's also, so for me, for example, I'm really big into empowerment, helping women, see their worth, helping people believe in themselves. And so as a result, I also follow a lot of people who have those quotes and a lot of empowerment. And so I will use those. So really thinking about what are the things that you're most passionate about that you would love to really teach people. And that's key, guys, realizing that, I know a lot of people are like, well, what do I post about? What do I post about? Your struggles are what you post about. Your struggles and the things that you go through are what are going, as you learn and grow through it, that's going to be what you teach people. Okay. Does that make sense? It's going to come from a genuine nature. So I'll give you an example. For me, I suffered a lot through imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is when you it's really prevalent with high achievers or just
right, yeah.
And it's just you reach a certain level of success, but you just always feel like you never belong. You feel like you're never enough. You feel like you're it's someone's gonna find you out, that you're stupid or something. Mm-hmm. So literally that's I've really suffered from that, and so I've had to work through that. So I share a lot about that in terms of believing in yourself, and because that's natural to me. I was telling Luke today, my fiance, he's someone that he always, for a long time I used to be like, you need to smile more. You need to smile more. You need to be, you have to have a more natural, positive energy. And he's been working a lot more on his mindset. And he's been working on his mindset and his money mindset, which, guys, mindset's important. All of you should also be working on your money mindset. I guarantee you, you all have issues with money mindset because we all have them. Money mindset books, anywhere from, You Are a Badass at Making Money is a great book. Your Infinite Power to Being Rich is a great book. I think it's one of Melissa. You should read that one next, actually. It is a really awesome book, Your Infinite Power to Being Rich. And just, huh? Someone is saying, huh?
Catherine's book.
Oh yeah, Catherine's book. Yes, Catherine's book is phenomenal, guys. Manifestation Babe, one of our original founders in this team, who is one of my close friends. She has a money mindset book that's really awesome. Get it on Amazon. But again, money mindset is really key. But all to say is he's been working on his mindset. His energy has changed. His outlook has changed. I can sense his energy shifting. And I was telling him, I'm like, Luke, this is what you're going to talk, because he can also see. For this, now I'm just kind of like going off topic, but I really see myself on a public stage, like speaking in front of, like just doing like hundreds of thousands of people. And I see him also speaking. So now he sees himself speaking. I was telling him, I was like, you're going to speak to that. You're going to speak to, what it's like, for someone, because I'm not someone that is, I've never had a very negative demeanor or a frown on my face. I've always been someone who has a big smile. And so I said, you're going to be able to speak to that, because I won't be able to speak to that, but you're going to be able to connect with other Black men, other Black women who, other minority women who there's some women out there, people out there who don't smile naturally. You guys all have seen them. It's like it's like a resting frown face. And that's not good, because then they look unapproachable, etc. Anyway, all to say that whatever you guys are going through, as you guys grow in your journey and you develop, you're gonna see more things to talk about. And Melissa's been someone who's been working very well, very much on her personal development, and she's had more things to talk about as she has learned more about herself, and as she's had more courage to talk about herself. I mean, so as you develop, you're gonna have more things to talk about. And so just thinking about that, in terms of for your hashtagging, I've been getting a lot of fitness pages rather than normal. Same idea, Alyssa. I don't see you, sweetheart. Oh, there you are. Same idea. It's just making sure that you're thinking about the hashtags that you're using, thinking about and really think about, guys, what do you want your page to represent? I know it's hard to think about that right now, because maybe you have like 1,000 followers or less than 1,000 or just a little over. You don't have as many people, but really thinking about, what do you want your business to represent? What do you want your page to represent? And start acting and posting as that now. And that was something, it's the same thing in business and success. It's like, envision yourself, as, you have to have the vision of where you want to go, and you have to envision yourself. It's like, for me, for example, I see us as an elite team. I see us as a well-organized, well-run, great cyclical, just in terms of there's a lot of structure. So it's like, what does that look like? Who is the Stephanie that is that? She's not doing things last minute. She's not, so these are the things that, I have to think about those things and start acting as if, and start saying those things into my, into my psyche, so that I call it into existence. And so for you guys, when you're thinking about growing your network and really, adding value to people, thinking about what is the message that I want to give to the world. Because again, all of you are giving a message of positivity, a message of self-love, a message of it's not selfish to make yourself a priority, right? A lot of people, feel it's selfish to make themselves a priority, and you're giving that example that it's not. It's actually a necessity to give yourself, to make yourself a priority. So just really think about that, because that'll also help with ideas for hashtags, and it'll help with ideas of accounts to follow. And that's what I do. I follow, I look at other people's accounts. I'm always taking, quotes from them. I'm always just sharing them on my page. And that's what I do. And again, the more that you grow yourself, the more that you work on yourself, you're going to have more things to talk about. Especially you, Asia, that you love to read, then, these books are going to be, you're going to grow. If you love to read personal development, and you're going to grow so much. Your whole outlook will change, and you'll see that it'll really affect you and potentially change the direction of your life. So awesome. Any other questions, guys, about anything? Anything. Again, Instagram is it's a consistent, you know, thing. Go ahead, Blair. Oh, I can't hear you.
So going live, I've been dabbling with it, but I'm not like very confident in myself. So I'm just working at it. But do you have any tips?
So going live, I always remember Stephanie Rowland, Blair? Remember Stephanie? Yeah. So I remember, and she goes live like all the time now. So I remember when she was the same way. I remember she did her first live sitting outside, and she was like, this is my first live, and she was like, I'm just really nervous. And you just have to just pull the plug and do it. You know, and those of you, how many of you have gone live on your pages? Okay. All right. So yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's with ease, and it's with experience, and just the more you do it. And one piece of advice I will tell you is write down the 3 main comments or points, or whatever the points are that you want to talk about. Write them down. You know, don't just rely on your head, because you're going to get flustered. So, you know, write them down 1, 2, 3, so that you know, okay, these are the points that I want to definitely point on, and just keep focusing on those 3 points, and just stay there so that you don't go too much off tangents. I'm like the queen of going off on tangents. So I've had to do that so that I stay focused and stay within like a 5-minute, 10-minute span. But that's one tip I would give you, is that, you know, just whatever your 3 points are, and just, again, energy. You have a beautiful energy, Blair. So it's just like, it's just sharing and shedding that, and just like protracting, or that energy and that light and that just that positive spirit out onto others, because people are just naturally going to, you know, be attracted to that. And the more that you go live on Facebook, especially, the more it'll gain traction. So my assignment from my coach, I also have a coach, not a Beachbody coach, but my assignment from my coach is for me to go live more often, and for me to, you know, really stay consistent and build that, because that's how my page will grow, and that's how Facebook works. So in the beginning, you may notice not many people tune in, but also it doesn't matter about that immediate tuning in. It's the people who watch it after. So that's something I learned from Chalene Johnson. She says it doesn't matter how many people listen to it on the actual time you go live. It's more so that it just stays in the feed, and people will continue to listen to it. So don't feel bad if like nobody is like on it. Anything else? Any other questions? And guys, again, it's about I can't stress the consistency. I can't stress the consistency, and then you believing in yourself. And I've seen, you know, I see, because I see where the doubts come, and and trust me, the doubts are going to be there. The doubts are going to be there, but you have to believe that the compound effect, and that's a great book, Compound Effect, the compound effect of you showing up consistently every single day, and you reaching out every single day, that it's going to pay off. And some months are going to be harder than others. Some months you're going to have to reach out. I think for me, you know, I usually hit Success Club earlier in the month, and I usually have a little bit, and I just hit, you know, today I hit Success Club, but it's been constant reaching out, and I'm just like, okay, we got to reach out. And it's just, and just that reaching out and building connections. And it's been great, because for me, I have faith that I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit Success Club. I'm going to get 3-4 people that work. And it's been great, because I'm building relationships, and I'm making connections that are going to help me outside of Beachbody. And so also think about that, guys. It's really about building, you know, really building those connections, and just, you know, connecting with people, because you never know. Again, it's not that they may say no, but if you leave them and you make them feel like you saw them as a person, they now know that this is what you offer, and they'll continue to follow, and they may refer someone to you. And that's another thing, asking for referrals and saying, okay, well, you know, if you, just in case, you know, I know you may not be interested, but would it be okay, you know, if you know anyone, please make sure to send them my way. Or do you know 2 to 3 people who also need help with their health and wellness? Another thing I did, and this is something I did when I was launching my course, guys. I don't know if you guys know that I launched a course, but I launched a course. And that's been a really interesting, and as you guys, I'm now just going to kind of just talk, but if you guys need to hop off, but I'm kind of going to give you like my like experience of something that I think, so like building my own brand on social media and building my own products have given me a huge appreciation for what we have with Beachbody. It's given me a huge appreciation that I don't have to create a product, that the product is already there for us. And, you know, we don't have to build a fitness plan. We don't have to build nutrition plans. Everything is already there for us. We don't have to, you know, package things. We don't have to, you know, send reminder emails. Like everything is there for us. All we have to do is get past our own limiting beliefs and use the products, have our own transformation and share it consistently and share the testimonials as, you know, and share what we call the social proof. When you hear that word social proof, that means testimonials. That's what that means. So when you share the social proof on our pages. And so we have hundreds of social proofs between our team, and as you're looking on Facebook and Instagram, and Beachbody has their own testimonials. But what I've realized is that there's a lot of work that goes into building any business. And we have it very easy in comparison to building your own, you know, specific brand. But when you don't believe in yourself, guys, it shows, and the universe is never going to align. I'm on a huge spiritual journey right now, personally, and it's never going to align for you until you believe in yourself. So if you don't believe that you're going to have success, it's going to align in a way so that you don't have success. If you believe that everyone's going to come to you and tell you that it's expensive, guess what? Everyone's going to tell you that it's expensive. If you believe that people are not, you know, that people are going to not make time for this, guess what? They're not going to make time for this. So you have to believe. And you just have to have faith even when people are not showing up, and that consistent, that you're like, you know what? I'm putting it out there. I know I'm doing my best. It's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. And so I give the example of my recent course that I launched. It's been a lot of work. It's like, you know, a lot of work in building the website and building the sales pages and building the content for the course and building the emails. And you have to, when you're creating a course, you have to build just the same way we're going to do for Launch 20, right? We have to start talking about it. You have to start building hype around it. You have to start getting your audience ready. And by the way, those of you who have been coaches for a while, one tip that I got is anyone who has bought a Shaun T program from you. So for example, you can go to your back office and get your customers. And if you go to the advance of being able to pull your customers, you can pull them out by programs. So look at them, look for the people who have bought Shaun T programs and start connecting with them now, if that makes sense. So that you don't have, so that you know these are people who are Shaun T lovers, like many of us are, and you know they're Shaun T lovers, and you start building, just saying, hey, how are you? So that when the program comes out, you're not like, hey, by the way, come buy this program. It's not like just like, well, geez, this person, like, start building that relationship now, start reconnecting now. So this is for those who have been with us for a while and have customers who do T25 and Sandy Max 30 and et cetera, or just reaching out to your customer base. If you have customers, start reaching out to them because you want them to know about this new program. So anyway, you have to start ramping up for a launch. And so I ramped up. I promoted for this webinar that I was doing. I did the PowerPoint for the webinar. I ran advertising for the webinar, guys. I was all ready to go. And then no one showed up. I think I was telling Jackie this, or not Jackie, I was telling someone else this. No one showed up for my webinar. No one. No one showed up after doing all this work, after talking about it for a while, after putting advertising for it. No one showed up. And I was like, in my head, I was like, it's okay. I'm gonna still record it. I'm gonna send it out to the people who signed up, because people have signed up for it, but they just didn't show up. And I think to that. And then the next day, someone bought my course. And it was my first customer who bought my course. And I always think to that, because I think how many people would have just shut off their Zoom, would have been disappointed, would have been like, this is not going to work out. No one is showing up. No one wants to hear what I have to say, right? How many of us would have just easily thrown in the towel? And I say this because it's like that in our Beachbody business, when we're posting and we feel like no one is responding and no one is talking to us and no one is reaching. We have to believe, and we have to stay consistent. Okay. And you have to just really believe that it's going to work out, that you're going to get the customers that you want. So yeah, that's my little lesson from my journey. And it's not easy, you know, and I have a following, and I have built connections, and even I can't get people to freaking show up to a webinar. So it's like, you know, it's a lot of, because I've realized in building a brand outside of this, even more so, that's why I stress to you guys the consistency, because you really need to stay in front of people. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You think about advertising, you think about how much people, you know, they pay for advertising to be repeated over and over and over again. We need to stay in front of people with the same message consistently. So don't feel like you're a broken record because you just have to be that broken record. You have to be like it's a repeat. So just really, you know, keep that in the back of your mind. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for staying on for a little bit. And next week, again, guys, is our sneak peek, and we'll have another call next week. And if you guys have any topics that you guys want to talk about, want me to, you know, train on, share about it, send me a message, and, you know, maybe we could put it on the roster of just ideas, because we're always like, what do we talk about next week? This is really what I'm like, what do I talk about? So I want to make sure that I'm serving you guys, and I want to make sure that, and again, this is also repetition, right? It's like, for me, I'm like, I feel like I've talked about every topic, but we have to keep repeating it. We have to keep talking about it. It keeps changing. We keep getting new coaches. We have to just keep talking about it. So, all right, guys, thank you. Have an amazing, amazing evening.